Yo, so what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you, brother?
I'm doing all right. You ready to get started?
Yeah.
You know who I am?
Yes, sir.
Who am I?
Action Lou.
My name is Lewis. I'm the host of Ain't No Days Off, and this is
Ryan Carver.
Ryan Carver. What's up, Ryan? What's your name? Where you from?
So I'm from Morganton, North Carolina, Burke County area. I currently live in Caldwell County in Lenoir.
Caldwell County in Lenoir?
Yep.
That's where, no, that ain't where you were born. You just said that, right?
No, I was born in Illinois.
In Illinois?
Yeah.
How old were you when you moved down here?
4 years old.
So you really don't remember much?
No.
Still got family in Illinois?
So I was adopted when I was 6 months old. From what I know, my mom was an active addict, and she put me up for adoption when I was a baby, and I was adopted when I was 6 months old. And my parents that adopted me, they owned a trailer park in North Carolina, so they moved us back to North Carolina when I was 4 to take care of the trailer park.
All right. Well, but did they make you feel any different?
Who?
Your foster parent?
Nah, they were really good to me. They were the best parents they could be. My dad, he was an alcoholic though, but I don't blame none of the choices or decisions that I made on them,
Was there any more kids?
So they had kids that were all older than me, pretty much all on their own. So, when they adopted me, they was in their 50s. So all their kids were pretty much grown by that time. So I was the baby.
All right. So there wasn't any trauma?
No, I didn't have no trauma growing up. Other than seeing my dad, like I said, he was alcoholic, occasionally come in drunk and raising Cain with my mom, stuff like that. Other than that, there wasn't really no trauma growing up.
So there wasn't like no trauma to the point where he beat y'all?
Nah, I had seen him maybe push her or something like that, but other than that, it was usually, like he would come in at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and, just be drunk and turn the radio wide open, and then him and her would get to arguing and stuff like that, and he might push her or something, but it wasn't nothing really physical.
Okay, so what age? So when you started going to school, was it different for you?
Being adopted or
being adopted and just adapting to.
Well, like I was told, my parents told me at a pretty young age about me being adopted, and it didn't really like affect me when I was young because I didn't understand it still, it wasn't probably till I got into, more like middle school or somewhere before I actually started getting an understanding of, what had happened. But it still did. I don't feel like that really affected me, other than, maybe at times wondering why my mom gave me up for adoption. Did she not care about me? Was there something wrong with me? Some of those thoughts always went through my mind, though.
Did you act out on any? Did you act out on him, though?
I don't think I acted out on them back then. It was just thoughts. It wasn't, and I think I've thought more about it since being older, and even after, getting clean and being in recovery, I've thought more about it, than I did when I was a kid.
Okay. So, how long you been in recovery?
I just celebrated 2 years, February 1st. I had 6.5 years clean and relapsed and just got back to 2 again.
All right. So what was going on that bad in your life where you thought drugs was the answer?
I don't think there was nothing bad going on in my life. It was just, I feel like maybe that I always felt like I had to fit in or had to do something to fit in with people. Like there was probably something wrong with me, and so. Growing up in school, I always thought I was the class clown, try to, be funny, make people like me because I was funny cutting up in class and stuff like that. But as I got older, it was more of just hanging out with friends and started, doing the normal things in the beginning, drinking, smoking marijuana. And what I realized is I loved the way those things made me feel and how they made me interact with other people
Okay.
and stuff like that.
So when was the first time you took a drink or did a drug?
I probably took a drink way before I ever actually started using because I remember at a young age my dad would always have moonshine, and anytime I'd get sick he'd tell me, take me a couple big sips out of this mason jar and go wrap yourself up in the blanket and you'll feel better in the morning.
And you feel better in the morning.
Yeah.
So do you think that was did you like that feeling?
I don't know if I liked it or not then, honestly, because it just made me feel warm and fuzzy and made me feel off. But I don't know that I liked it, because honestly, I did drink in high school, but like drinking went out the window really quick and became a thing of the past.
Were you a troublemaker?
Not really up until I got into high school. Middle school, I was good. I wasn't really a troublemaker. I did, like I said, I was class clown. I was always cutting up in class. Sometimes I'd get put outside the class because I'd be making everybody laugh or, trying to have everybody's attention,
Okay.
stuff like that. But not really any trouble until I got into high school.
All right. And did you finish school though?
No, I ended up quitting school when I was 16. My parents allowed me to because I was failing every class anyway. Our school bus got to my high school like an hour before school started. So me and some of my buddies, we'd ride the bus to school, go jump the fence, go get wasted all day, come back, jump the fence, and get back on the bus to go home. Little did I know, that the school was calling my parents and telling them. But finally they realized, that, I wasn't passing anyway, so they might as well let me quit, I guess. So I ended up quitting when I was 16.
Well, do you think that was did you get into more trouble now that you wasn't going to school?
Absolutely. I had a lot of free time on my hands, and I began hanging out with some older folks that lived near my house that were on drugs, used drugs, sold drugs. Started hanging out with them, started experimenting in a lot of different things, and just had a lot of free time on my hands. So I was filling that free time with things that I didn't need.
Okay. So was marijuana the first, besides the alcohol, was marijuana the first thing that you smoked?
Yeah, marijuana was the first thing I did. I did it for a little while, smoking marijuana and drinking in high school. And then it got into, I started doing some prescription opiates and stuff. Had friends that did them. Come to find out, my parents, my mom mostly then, was prescribed large amounts of opiates and benzos. And once I started doing them and realized what they were, then of course I started taking 2 or 3 a day or so from her.
Do you think, looking back, that she was an addict?
I don't think she was an addict. She had like tons of health problems. Like she had very serious health problems. She had like stents in her heart, diabetes, asthma, very overweight, thyroid problems. You name it. She had like tons of problems, and she had had back surgeries, and like she needed them. But I can't say that she was an addict because she took them like she was supposed to. If she even needed to take them, didn't ever run out until I started stealing them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So what, is she still living?
no, both of my parents, they both passed away in 2003 during my active addiction. My best friend got killed in a car wreck leaving my house in like October of 2003. Like a month later, my dad died from lung cancer. I got locked up a month later on December the 12th. My mom died on Christmas Eve. The jail didn't tell me or take me to the funeral. They told my brother I was an escape risk, so they couldn't take me.
How did that make you feel?
It really messed me up. Like I flipped out when I found out a week later at the jail. I ended up flipping out and like I flipped out so bad that the guards and the jailers and stuff even took me outside and let me smoke cigarettes and all kind of stuff, because they kind of knew they was in the wrong, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was a person that always run from the law, you know. Anytime, you know, I had warrants pretty much all the time, so I made them work for their money. So I understand where they was coming from.
I get that, but to not tell you.
That was the thing that got me the most. You know, not notifying me that she had passed away. And it was hard to deal with. But like I said, you know, this is all during my active addiction. So, you know, throughout all this, I'm, you know, of course not while I was in jail that time. I don't think I was using any in there, but I have used in jail. So, but, you know, I was constantly covering up those feelings, and instead of dealing with everything, I was, you know, covering it up, you know, masking the pain.
Hold on one second. Don't worry about this. All right. So eventually you did get out.
Yeah. So that time, I went to prison for like 8 to 10 months. Got out, had $26,000 in the bank from where my brother had sold their house and split the money between all of us. And I spent the $26,000 in 3 weeks in a motel room bathroom shooting dope. Gone, every dime. Didn't have nothing to show for it.
No car, no place to go, no.
I bought a car and ended up, it got stole from me, and the dude had the title and signed mine in his name and got it notarized. And the sheriff's department, of course, didn't care for me back then, and they said there wasn't nothing they could do about it. The title was signed, notarized.
So the guy took the car.
Took the car.
So, and this was what year?
2003.
2003. So when you said you had 6 years, you said you had 6 years. When did enough become enough?
So, you know, I used pretty much from the age of 13 to 34. IV drug user from the age of 19. You know, I've been to jail 60, 70 times. I've been to prison 7 times, habitual felon. But the last time I went to prison, I got out in 2015 for the final time of like April 2015, and ended up going straight back to the drugs on the streets. That's the only thing I've ever known. Didn't nobody give me no guidance on, you know, a different direction either. So I ended up using from April to July of 2015 before I decided to finally give it a try and try to get clean.
So how, because a lot of times people put their self, did you consider yourself, now you're a person with SUD, but back then, did you consider yourself as a junkie?
Oh yeah. I was full blown junkie. Absolutely. You know, everything I did was through a needle, and I lied, stole, cheated, robbed, did whatever I had to do to get more. I always considered myself a junkie. Most of my friends always said I was going to be the one to die.
Did you ever die? Did you ever overdose?
Not that I know of. I know there was this one time that I'd been up for like 2 weeks doing meth and cocaine, and ended up shooting a bunch of Oxycontins.
Okay.
And I started flopping like a fish out of water, and my friends ended up tying me down in a bed with extension cords, and they called my other friends and said I was overdosing, and like I was coherent somewhat. And then when my friends that they called came to the house, they locked the doors and turned the lights off and acted like nobody wasn't there. So then my friends called the law. And I remember being tied down in this bed with extension cords with the police department shining lights through the windows trying to see if anybody was in the house. But they never came in.
That's how it was back then, though.
Yeah, wild, man.
Are you, do you think, would you do it different? Would you do anything? Because you get a lot of people, they start living a life that they've dreamed of, like now, like this, your place is nice. You got a nice car. It didn't look nothing like this, an act of addiction.
Oh no, I lost my license after like I was probably still 16 when I lost my license, getting tickets and stuff, whatever caused it. And I never got my license back until I got clean again at the age of 34. But I didn't have nowhere to live. I lived on the streets, homeless, had one pair of clothes in a book bag, a phone with a broken screen that only worked on Wi-Fi, holes in my shoes and socks, all that stuff.
So you was living outside on the streets.
Yeah, I'd bounce around from dope house to dope house, live on the street. Man, I even took off to Charlotte one time and ended up in the men's shelter down there. Found myself in the middle of downtown Charlotte smoking crack. And then I was like, man, I gotta go back home. This ain't for me.
So you never did know from one day to the next day how your life was gonna look?
Nah, all I knew is every day I was going to be chasing and trying to figure out how I was going to get my next fix. That's the only thing that was a daily thing that I knew was going to never change.
Did you ever contemplate suicide?
Absolutely. I've cut my wrist before. Whenever I spent that $26,000 in that motel room after my parents died, I was trying to kill myself. I was actually mixing like cocaine and meth together and shooting shots that probably should have killed me. Would have killed anybody, I feel like. And I didn't understand in those moments, well, why is God not letting me die? I'm trying to kill myself. I just want to die. I don't feel like I got nothing to live for anymore. And I didn't understand then why I couldn't just die. So, but after being clean for a while, I understand that, God had a purpose for my life. There's a reason I lived through all that stuff.
So you are you a Christian?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
You believe in God?
I believe in God. If you don't believe in God and you've been through what I've been through, something's wrong. That's the only thing that could have brought me through it.
Only thing.
The only thing.
So we talk about desperation. What were some of the things that made you, when you look back, that made that reflected desperation?
Man, I always talk about in the beginning when I first got clean, 2015. I had that gift of desperation. I was desperate for something different. The judge told me last time I went through the court system, don't come back through here. I'm putting you away for a very, very long time. And and I still, even after that, still went out and stole and did things that broke the law, knowing that I could end up in prison for life, because of my record. But man, when I decided to get clean, man, I was desperate for something different. I was desperate for change. I just didn't know what it was, and I didn't know what it was going to look like or how to do it. I needed guidance, I didn't even know how to live life.
Didn't know how to live life. I had no responsibilities.
Man, I didn't know nothing about no taxes, no car payments, no power bills, no nothing.
None of that.
Nothing.
None of that. So I know you wasn't getting drugs for free. So what were you doing to get high?
Whatever it took. Rob, steal, cheat, lie, sell people flex, sexual stuff. You name it, I would do it. It didn't matter, because I was addicted and I had to have more, and I had to have it at all times.
The dope always came first.
That dope was always first,
So, because you got a lot of people that don't understand the mental obsession part of it. They might be like, why don't you just quit? Why do you think, what would you tell those people?
Well, I would first explain that, it don't work that way, because there's obsession and compulsion. And once certain drugs are different than others. Of course, I did a lot of opiates in my time. I was a big part of the Oxycontin epidemic. And when you get addicted to the Oxycontins, man, when you got addicted to the Oxycontin, the opiates, man, when you don't have them, you feel like sick. Like you feel like you're dying. You feel like you got the flu times 100, diarrhea, puking, sweating, just feel like death. So you will do whatever it takes to get some so you don't feel like that.
Yeah. So you did whatever you had to do.
Absolutely.
And then you found So the first time you said you had 6.5 years, what what happened?
So I stayed clean. I got clean through 12-step program. And it's what worked for me, and it's still what works for me today. But COVID hit and meetings shut down, and they started, telling everybody to isolate, all that
Okay.
stuff. And I began, isolating. I cut myself off from the program, from my sponsor, from everything I was doing for my recovery. I cut myself off from it, and it was only a matter of time before desire and opportunity met, and I found myself using again.
Is that one of them instances where they say your back was against the wall?
I don't think my back was against the wall. I made the bad choices that landed me in a position to where I was around people that were using, and then of course I had somewhat of a desire to use, and like they say, when that desire and opportunity meets, you'll get high.
So you go back out there. You have been clean. Well, how old were you when you got them 6 years?
So that was 2 years ago. I'm 42, getting ready to be 43 now. So I was like 41, 40, somewhere.
So you go back out there. How long did you stay out there?
So I used a little bit, like drinking and doing a couple pills, before I actually flipped the hell out and ended up at a motel shooting meth for 4 days. So it was only, probably about a month and a half, that I used. But after I used those 4 days shooting meth in that motel, then I went and checked myself in and got help again.
Okay, so did you was it worse? Do you think it was worse?
Man, I started back off right back where I left off. Went right back to using the needle, shooting up in my jugular vein, because I can't hit
In your neck?
Yeah, because all my other veins are blowed out from IV drug use. So the easiest and best place for me to shoot up was always in my jugular vein. So I found myself in this motel, standing in front of a mirror, shooting meth in my jugular vein. And, after 4 days, I finally went and, like I said, checked myself into a psych hospital pretty much. Told them I was suicidal, which, I pretty much was, because I had a lot of shame and guilt from messing up after being clean for 6.5 years, and those thoughts begin to run back through my head. Well, am I ever going to be able to do this and actually stay clean, for good?
What about your friends?
Which ones,
The ones that were with you during the 6 years.
They were still doing their thing, most of them still going to meetings, still, doing everything they've been doing to stay clean. I started isolating during the COVID and just kept myself away from all of them.
Right.
I cut myself off from the very thing that was saving my life.
All right. So have you ever seen anyone die?
Actually seen it in person happen?
Yes.
No, I haven't seen it in person happen.
So have you lost somebody to this disease?
I've lost tons of people to overdose and to the disease of addiction. And when I say tons, I mean like tons.
Put a number on it.
Just to say, friends that like were truly close to me, that like I hung out with on numerous bases, probably 30 to 40.
Do you think addiction has affected everybody by this time? Not only the person using, but even if you ain't used, do you think that even them people are being affected by it?
Absolutely. Addiction, it's a family disease. It affects everybody around you. Because I know for me, when I was using, I was stealing from my parents and putting them through, tough times of all the stuff I was doing and getting in trouble and going to jail. And so it was affecting everybody around me.
All right. You got a daughter, right?
Yeah, I do.
So has she ever saw you high?
No, she's not saw me high.
But you have used while she was born, since she have been born?
Yeah, I guess she did see me high, but she didn't know I was high
Yeah.
during those 4 days that I'd been high on meth.
So let me ask you this question: if you never would have went back out after them 6 years, she never would have knew. You would have. How old is she?
She was 4 when I relapsed, so she's 6 now.
Okay, so if you never would have went back out, she wouldn't knew nothing about it unless you told her.
Right. And I still don't think like she knew or realized it because she was young, like I said, 4. I didn't do nothing in front of her, but, I had her over the weekend while I was high.
But I see you with her though. You're such a good father though.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I'm not on drugs, when we're not using, we're good people. All of us.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yes, sir. 2 different people.
Not bad people, just sick people.
That's it. Trying to get better.
Is there anything you would do different?
Honestly, I don't think so. Of course, during that relapse, of course, I'd love to have done stuff different then, but.
So let me ask you this question. All right. You can clean your slate, the records, your records, your drug use. You can go back to school, finish school. Things could be different. But then if you choose to go back, and then your daughter wouldn't be here, but you could clear everything up. You're just a guy. Would you choose to go back?
No, everything I've been through has made me who I am today.
Who are you today,
Ryan?
Who are you?
I'm Ryan Carver. I'm a person in long-term recovery. I'm a peer support specialist. I'm a county employee.
A county employee?
Yeah.
But you've been locked up 70 times in the county.
Yeah.
And then they go, so you meant to tell you've been locked up all that time. You change your life, make a couple good decisions, and then the county come back and hire you?
Yeah, man. What they've realized is people like you, me and you, can help people like me and you a lot better than folks that ain't never walked a mile in our shoes.
Don't matter. Like we got in the field that we work in, we got our degree. You don't get these degrees in school books and going to college 4-5 years. Like you might have talked to somebody and you might think you understand, but you don't know what it's like running out of drugs, looking at that TV thinking it must go. That TV got to go.
Yeah, being willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah,
to get one more.
Even the dereliction and the degradation, they don't know that part of the disease of addiction.
Right. Yeah. It's an everyday job that you don't like going to.
With all them degrees, they don't understand. We are still best qualified. We are the weapon. I forgot. I was about to say the ultimate weapon for the addict is the recovering addict. Something
Absolutely,
like that. Yeah.
The therapeutic value
of one addict helping another without parallel.
Yeah.
Bro, we weapons.
I can't sit down with grandma or mom or dad that ain't never used drugs and be like, man, I'm wanting to go get high and I'm about to go steal some shit.
You can't do it.
Because they're going to be like, you stupid. You need to not do that.
Yeah.
But now if I sit down and tell you, man, I'm wanting to go get high, I'm about to go steal some shit, you're going to be like, man, come on, bro. I've been there.
If I don't want to go with you.
Right.
If I want to go with you, where we going? What's stove?
we about to be in trouble.
Yeah, we about to be in trouble, man. But it feels good, man, to just wake up and not obsessing over drugs.
Absolutely. It's a blessing for sure.
You got your appetite back?
Oh yeah.
You done pick some weight up?
Man, I can't gain weight. I've definitely put some on from when I quit using, because I was pretty much bones then. But I eat all the time. All my friends will tell you, man, he's like a horse.
All right. Do you do you have a lot of relationships with people?
Yeah, man. back in like 2018, man, the Burke County News Herald, the county I used to live in and where I lived most of my life, they did a big article about me and put me on the front page of the paper about me getting clean and helping other people and stuff. And man, ever since then, like I've had a lot of people follow my journey. I've had a lot of people following my journey. So, you know, I've got tons of friends, man, people that, you know, I got friends I don't even know. I ain't never met in person, but like they follow me on Facebook, you know, they support me, you know, they always encourage me. But I mean, I've got tons of friends that I've met in the program.
People you don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, I got people I don't even know that support me sometimes more than people that do know me, really.
So a while back, you was trying to get, you had some legal stuff going on as far as your, you was trying to raise some money.
Yeah. So my daughter's mother was trying to, wanted to move to New York with my daughter. So, and like I couldn't change her mind. So I eventually had to, you know, file custody. So we could take it to court so I could keep that from happening, because if she moved to New York, I would barely be in her life. So like I talked to an attorney and he's like, well, you got to have $5,000 up front. And, you know, I mean, I pretty much live paycheck to paycheck. You know, I enjoy life, you know, and I got a place, I got a car I'm paying for, you know, so I didn't really have $5,000. I had a little bit of it, but, you know, so I just made a post on Facebook kind of, you know, asking people, hey, I need some help. Can everybody help me out?
And your recovery people showed up.
Man, recovery people showed up. People I ain't never... I had a doctor I only met one time in my life. He showed up like $200 or $300, sent it to me. Man, I had all kinds of people sending me money.
If you were still getting high, do you think they would have done that? The people would have showed up?
No. Because, I mean, I used to call home and be like, hey, they got me held hostage and they going to kill me. They going to kill me if you don't send some money. They wasn't sending no money.
Send it.
No.
You'll be better off.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start planning the funeral.
Yeah.
It's amazing how recovery can change, can change lives.
Yeah, it changes everything, man.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Hey, Mama.
What time you coming? I was trying to see if I need to get them something to eat.
Yeah, get them something to eat. I'm still up here in the middle of a. I'm in the middle of a podcast. You called 3 times, and I just told them to hold up because this may be important.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and get them something to eat. I love you. Bye.
What you gonna do? Cut this out?
All right, don't get them McDonald's. Give them some greens and some baked chicken or something. All right.
What you gonna do? Cut this out?
Maybe. It's my podcast.
Right.
We ain't stripped it. This shit real. We done had our mics and stuff fall in there. I know you more professional, and I apologize, man. But like I'm up and coming, you know. One day I'm gonna have a production crew and all that. But right now, man, we just give it to people how we received it, you know. So yeah, but I could cut it out. I might. It depends. Like just the fact that my mama, she called me and I was able to answer her phone call, or I wasn't doing something else and send her to voicemail, but she called 3 times in a row. So like I thought it
was something serious.
Yeah. I'm going to get my grandson when I leave here. She wanted to know where I was, see if he needed to wait or what. So I apologize for that.
No, you're good, bro. Shoot.
So
Take care of you.
Yeah, what were we talking about though?
Where was we at?
See, our brain still messed up.
Yeah.
Our brain, we still trying to.
My brain's fried, I'll be honest.
Yeah, for real.
Some days I'll be like forgetting my own name.
Do you ever think about using still?
No, I don't have no thoughts of using. Honestly, I mean, maybe once in a blue moon, but like, man, I work on a post-overdose response team now, so like I see people overdosing. I see people dying almost weekly. So, man, that shit'll make you think twice about wanting to use.
Yeah, even that when you're looking at people overdosing and dying, that's carrying the message to you.
Oh yeah,
The message of no matter what.
Yeah, it definitely make you think. That can be me. That next one can be the last one, just like it was for them.
Easy.
Especially with this shit going around nowadays.
That fitting to kill.
Yep.
It ain't no joke.
It ain't, man.
None of it ain't no joke. But we don't bury too many. Like, we got everybody right now got tangible evidence that this program work, and the disease of addiction will kill you.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. People are dying. I mean, from the age of 13 to 70s, man, from fentanyl and other drugs.
How do you feel when your friends keep going out using drugs and coming back in?
I've not had a whole lot that's like kept going back and forth. The ones that kept going back and forth, they are no longer with us, honestly.
They're unalived.
Yep. They finally did their last one.
So that's like, they got that saying, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. I guess they hit that one that was too many.
Yeah, and I think about that saying, and 1,000's never enough, but one's enough to kill you.
One is enough to kill you.
That's what the way we got to look at things today, in this day and time.
Imagine giving your life together, and I've done it. I've got the car, got the house, got the family, got everything back, only to go back out there and lose it again. And you lose it way faster than it took you to accumulate.
Oh yeah. The stuff goes a lot quicker than it comes, for sure.
It goes a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And everything cheap 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you gonna give your stuff away for one more once you get hooked back on it,
Yeah. So right now you still got people out there struggling. Can you look in that camera and give them a message of hope?
So, if you haven't got hope already, I was an IV drug user, man, and hardcore. You could ask any of my friends and they would tell you he's going to die. Everybody said that I was going to be the one to die. By the grace of God, I didn't. But there's so many different programs out there to help you, and there's so many people out here that want to help you, like ourselves. That's what we do on a daily basis, is help people. If you want help and you want something different, you don't like the way your life is now, then reach out. You got to reach out and you got to be honest. You got to say, look, this is where I'm at, and I need help.
Why do you got to be honest though?
Because, man, like they say, secrets keep us sick. If I ain't being honest with you, how you going to really help me? If I ain't telling you the full truth about what I'm doing, how you going to know how to help me?
I can tell you a little bit of it.
Yeah. You can?
Can you help me?
I mean, I can try.
You can
but
help,
at the
you
end
can
of the
help
day,
with what I tell you.
Right. I can try and help you with what you tell me about, but, then there's the rest of it. It's still sitting there brewing.
Still sick and suffering.
Yeah. Still doing push-ups.
Yeah, and earlier I was like, can you help someone out there struggling, giving them hope? Yeah, you already should. Yeah, you already have. I caught that. You like, if they ain't already got hope. I caught that. I may have said it wrong. What I should have just said, what would you say to anyone that's out there struggling? Call they should.
If you're out there struggling, just know that, hey, we struggle too. There's people that's been there. There's people that's done that. You can stop the struggle when you decide, but you got to ask for some help. You got to ask people to help you. The opposite of addiction is connection. So you got to get connected to the things that's going to help you stay clean and change your life. Reach out. There's tons of places all over that you can reach out for help. There's tons of people like Lewis and myself and millions of others that I know that are living in recovery that will do anything in the world to help you.
the other day, man, and I'm just talking about the program that we attend. The 12-step program that we attend. They had this dude, like, he was hearing and he couldn't talk, or mental, I forgot what you call it, but impaired. And he had his translator up in the middle of the meeting with him, translating through the meeting. I think that was like, if somebody don't, like, anybody can get this, any addict.
We had a lady that was deaf, and so she came to our meetings and had a translator, and got clean, stayed clean, and she eventually stopped coming for a little while, but she stayed clean throughout all this. Well, she met up with another deaf lady recently, and we've actually got them started up their own deaf meeting at my home group.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Well, it's just a part of our home group,
okay.
But we
That's
split.
Awesome.
There's a split room for them to go because they wanted to kind of have their own meeting. So we figured we could just start it like that to begin with, so they had a place already to go to.
That's some good stuff. This program, this 12-step program is built for all manifestations of the recovering addict. It don't matter.
Absolutely, and I tell people, I was telling people the other day when we was talking about, setting that up. Man, if I was deaf, I probably would have died from using, because you think they don't have all the luxury that we got,
Yeah. We got a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't realize how good we got things until we meet people that are deaf or blind or, can't walk or whatever the situation may be,
And and actually, like, it's done got good, but it's done got kind of bad good and worse. It depends on what you're looking for. I remember when I first started coming around to trying to get in the detox and stuff, you could just walk up there and say that I've been using, and they would let you in, and you could go through a program, or you can do the 4 days and leave. Like, it was that easy.
Right.
Nowadays, they won't even take you without insurance or anything.
Yeah, it's a struggle getting people into detoxes, treatment, stuff like that. I know they've done this Medicaid expansion recently, which has kind of helped with the situation some, but like some of these people have got insurance policies off of Marketplace, and to be honest, half of those like ain't worth a crap. But yeah, we struggle a lot in my job with trying to get people into detox treatment, things like that.
I used to go to mental health and tell them I was going to kill myself to get into treatment.
Yeah, I mean, during my active addiction, I can't tell you how many times I went and told them I was suicidal because I knew that was the only way they would keep me.
That's the only way to keep me, boy. That's when you, that's when you was done. And those times I did that, when I look back, I had done ran out of money. I've been up for days. I've been out of resources. I was hungry, tired, dirty, broke. I was just broken. And that's the only way I knew I could get me that good night. I didn't really care. I was gone. I really didn't care about the showers. At one point, it really wasn't about no showers and bathing and all that. It was about some sleeping food.
Oh, yeah. Sleep and eat.
Eat.
Rest back up for a few days and go back out on that
go
next
back
run.
out, and I'll be back. Yeah. Don't give my bed away.
Yeah.
Keep.
they knew that. All these places I went to, it was like 3 or 4 different places, but I went so much that they all knew. When I showed up, they knew me by name, and they knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to stay, eat, sleep for a week, and I was going to go back out there and do the thing over again.
I had those favorite 2 or 3 people in detox that I always used to like, the counselors.
Yeah. Oh, I used to have this old black lady up here at Foothills Detox when it was open, and man, I loved her to death. She was the sweetest woman in the world. She'd wake me up at 5 a.m. every morning and be like, "Come on in here, honey, I got your favorite pancakes and bacon." I'd jump up and be gone.
Bro, but that's some good stuff, how like we go through these places, man, we don't get it, we in and out, and then one day we get the keys to the building, and we go back and we work for them same people, and bro, we weapons.
Absolutely.
We weapons, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, because I see, constantly on Facebook and stuff like that, people on there being judgmental towards folks that are on drugs or homeless or whatever. And I'm like, one day they could be clean and be the very person that helps save your kid's life.
That's right. And that's so true. That's why we got to be careful how we treat people.
Absolutely.
But you're a Christian. We got to be careful how we treat the lowest of them.
Absolutely.
Because that'll be the same person when you go in there with your child that comes up to the desk and be like, follow me.
Yeah. And the thing about that is we've been that lowest of lowest.
Yeah.
And that's what gives us, that compassion and that love toward people, because, we know what it's like to be there. It's just getting the folks that are uneducated, that don't understand and ain't never been addicted to understand.
And we still humble enough to know, like, when we speak on how we carry this message to people that's still using drugs, to the addict that's still suffering, we still humble. We still not exalted. We still, we just got some information, but we're not bigger than or less than than they are. Like, we still, humility make us feel like we understand. I understand.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we ain't no better than nobody else. We all need to be equal,
But we do got today, but we are clean.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. We know you don't want to be here. We know this is new. We know you have been in. So when they come into and we first meet them, we know all about them.
Oh yeah.
we don't know. We know all about them when we first see them.
Yep. That's for sure.
Yep. So anyway, man, got anything else you want to say?
I don't reckon, brother.
You done said everything you think?
I think.
All right. Are you in a relationship or are you single?
I'm single. No relationship.
Y'all hear that, ladies?
Relationships that sidetrack me. Women sidetrack me from what I need to be doing a lot of times.
All right.
I got to continue to focus on me and my recovery. Because if I don't focus on that, everything else is gone.
Everything else is gone. Well, you got 2 years now. You got a nice house, a car. What you mean?
I mean, that's all cool. But all that shit could be gone tomorrow.
Look, you ain't got the coffee pad. You got the big coffee, the Purex, the what you call the coffee maker. Yeah, the Keurig. Like, you good now. That's all you needed was some money and a house and a car.
Yeah, I know that's right. If that was the fact, I wouldn't have never relapsed after 6.5 years.
Yeah, money, property, and prestige.
Yeah.
Man, anyway, I love you, brother. Thank you so much, man. I'm sorry we couldn't get it going, man. Like, y'all don't even know. I wish we had a behind the scenes. Like, we had 2 things set up. If that was the only thing we brought, we would have
been screwed.
We would have had to. No, we got yours, though. We would have had to. We would have figured something out. We addicts. We gonna figure it out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Can't nobody else in this, like, just think, now we need a job to pay our bills and all that stuff. But we woke up for years broke and stayed high all day long.
Hustle all day.
All day long. Just to go to bed broke again, wake up in the morning and do it. If we go to sleep.
Yeah.
But just to, I guess, do whatever we do, wake up the next day and do it all over again.
Yep. Every day. Working a job that you hate going to.
Ain't got no benefits, ain't no 401k.
Don't pay you.
Don't pay you a thing. And you spend more money than I've spent more money in a year in active addiction than I've made in a year working a regular job.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can't think. Man, I'd love to know how much I did spend throughout all my addiction.
I would love to have that number. That'd be a crazy number. Yeah. That'd be a crazy number.
Yeah, and people be surprised, be like, "Well, how'd you come up with that,
bro? What?
We don't even know.
We don't even know, bro. We know we did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, sprinkled a little bit of this on top of. We just know it worked for you. It worked, but it didn't work because we here.
Did whatever it took.
Whatever it took, man. And right now, man, my brother got a little bit over 2 years. 2 years clean. We hope for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And thank y'all, man. But we really gone this time. We can't keep on messing with y'all all day, man.
Y'all have a good one.
Y'all have a good one.